it's me, Nalthazar, and welcome to another episode of the Planeswalker Showcase series. And in this episode, I wanted to take a look at Nahiri the Harbinger. So, I wanted to take a look at Nahiri this time because I feel like Nahiri has become a very underused Planeswalker, but remains very, very strong. I started playing the game back when the Innistrad expansion came out, and she was really strong then. I find that Nahiri tends to be a stronger planeswalker for newer players, but even still, even if you're an older player, you can still get a heck of a lot of use out of Nahiri today, especially if you have the right cards. So I wanted to go over that with you guys. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't, but hopefully you dust off your Nahiri and you give her a whirl. Now, I haven't really been seeing much of Nahiri in events, and that's some sort of what's inspired me to do this. As in, I haven't been playing against very many Nahiris. So let's take a look at her abilities. As usual, I'm going to go over and into the training grounds, and I'm going to throw in a deck that's really just commons and uncommons. And then I'm going to throw in a deck that has more like rares, mythics, masterpieces, stuff like that. So you can get an idea of both sides of the spectrum. So if you've got a beginner's collection, or if you have a more advanced collection, that you can still get quite a lot out of Nahiri. So I've got my Nahiri leveled up to 60. I know a lot of people like to keep her at a lower level because her first ability is largely what you're going to be spamming, and it's really strong at pretty much every point of the game. So that Stoneforge ability is going to permanently buff all of your creatures by +4/+4. Her second ability, I hear a lot of trash about, but I actually think is an incredibly good ability. And I think it's a really good ability for a few reasons. One, the biggest struggle that I feel that white and red both have is with card draw. And Lithomancy is going to give you card draw. And so if you're playing Nahiri in an event and you are close to meeting an objective but not quite there, you can use Lithomancy to go ahead and draw into the pieces that you need in order to achieve objectives. So it helps give her a little bit of a boost for completing objectives. And then finally, Harbinger, her last ability, is more of a gimmicky ability. And I'm saying it's a little bit more gimmicky because it works really, really, really well with specific cards. But other than those specific cards, because the buff is just until end of turn, you'd really only use it over Stoneforge if you've got like a boom of Planeswalker loyalty and you wanted to use it up. Her mana gains are mediocre as things go. She's got +4 to both of her colors. She's got a +1 to green and a -1 counter to black, so a total of +8. But either way, she's pretty good. So let's take a look at the Pauper deck that I'm going to be running today. The Pauper deck is going to be running a bunch of removal. So I've got Conclave Tribunal, I've got Mortify, and I've got Justice Strike. For my creatures, I have a lot of lifelinkers. So I have Danitha, I have Arvad, and I have Sunblade Angel. All of them are going to be lifelinkers. Nahiri does really well with lesser collections with lifelink because she can buff them up pretty quickly with her first ability, and so you can be getting a lot of life back and it keeps you in the game pretty long. And I'm also running True Fire Captain because it's got Double Strike, and Nahiri loves creatures with Double Strike. Her buffing the creatures just makes them really, really strong, especially with Double Strike because you're getting double the buff out of them. Then I've got some gem converters because, of course, it's always good to have a few cards that are going to stabilize your mana base a little bit. And then finally I rounded it out with some support destruction because support destruction is incredibly valuable. Now, I'm in Platinum, so this guy that I'm going to be going up against, or gal, is also a Platinum deck. They probably aren't doing what I'm doing, so it's unlikely that I'll be facing another Pauper deck. So that puts me at an immediate disadvantage, but things should probably work out anyways. So here I see that I've got two very useful removal spells. I've got a Sunblade Angel. Sunblade Angel can be a little bit risky because of it having vigilance, but if you're able to get the Sunblade Angel out and you're able to start buffing it up, you basically have a wall that wins you the game. So that's why it's in there. I'm still going to buff it up because I've got a Justice Strike below that I'm charging up to. And so if the opponent here winds up playing a creature, I'm hopefully going to be able to Justice Strike it if it's a creature that's stronger than the Sunblade Angel. Now, in seeing these tokens here, these lifelink soldiers from the Ravnica block, it makes me think that my opponent is probably going to be running some kind of token deck. I'm going to really have to hope that it's not a Tristani token deck because those are just ridiculously powerful. I'm going to make this match over here, hoping that I get a Cascade that I don't get. Here I've got a 5 match with Planeswalker Loyalty mana, so I'm obviously going to do that first. I'm going to analyze, and I'm going to take the white-black match. So I'm looking at what all I have here, and I'm going to see what he plays. I'm going to play reactively here a little bit, right? So I'm going to move Mortify up just in case I need a little bit more removal. I'm going to drop the Sunblade Angel. I've got enough mana to go ahead and cast the Justice Strike if I need it. I don't need it, and I don't need it because this thing here is a 4/4, and it's really not going to be able to get past the Sunblade Angel. So I'm also kind of hoping that I'll be able to get the True Fire Captain down before anything else really happens. Now, normally I'd wind up discarding some cards out of my hand. I'd be filtering here, but given the situation and where I'm at in the game, I'm going to leave things as they are and just hope that they don't get another copy and reinforce this. So they don't. I'm still in really good position here. So I know I didn't discard any cards, but that's okay. I'm looking at what I have. I don't need to double up on removal here. So I'm going to let the True Fire Captain drop. Next turn, I'm going to be using Nahiri's first because now I've got 2 creatures that I can buff with it. Yeah, this is almost assuredly going to be some kind of Tristani nonsense, but she probably won't have the chance to get that off. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to demolish that support. If you're wondering what it does, it just basically makes tokens that are 1/1s double in power. It's pretty nasty, so I'm going to get rid of it. I don't want it. I'm looking at what else I have. I've got another copy of the Angel. That's okay. So let's demolish the support. Let's get rid of it and keep whapping the opponent. Now, there you're going to see that our double striker wound up buffing the Angel too. I'm getting rid of Justice Strike. I don't need another copy. I'm going to use Nahiri's first again, so just keep powering up the field. The idea is to take turns away from Hualti. We don't want Hualti to have extra turns. That was a bad match. That was foolish, but it's probably okay. Hualti gets negatives from black, so even if Hualti makes the match, which it doesn't, it's really not a big deal. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to keep things as they are. Just this is over. So that is that. So Nahiri, very easily overpowered Gun Bunny here. I know that Gun Bunny didn't get any of its like super big cards down, but still for a pauper deck in a platinum training ground, I was able to win really easily. There was really nothing that scared me. I had removal in my hand the whole time in case something bad came down. My Vigilance creature with First Strike was able to take care of all the things the opponent threw at me. And so really easy. Now here I'm going to go into the second deck. It's called Razia Beatdown. This is one of my favorite decks. I use it in a lot of events, and I use it because of Razia. Razia is entirely busted in Nahiri. It's really disgusting, especially with that Harbinger ability, her third. If you use the Harbinger ability, it boosts Razia to 45 power. And so if you have a burn spell in your hand, so say Electrodominance, and you burn yourself, and you have the loyalty to use Harbinger, then Razia is going to be swinging in for 90 damage, which is really big. I mean, it's killer. You can just end a game right then and there. And it makes it really easy to sort of hold out until you achieve an objective, and then once you do, you just bang, immediately end the game. I also really like Luminarch Ascension in Nahiri because Nahiri's second ability that draws you cards, discard draw, is going to destroy white gems. And so it's actually going to destroy Luminarch's activated gems. And so it's going to get you a bunch of angel tokens. Decree of Justice is just going to produce the same type of token. Lyra is kind of a match made in heaven for Razia. It gives Razia First Strike, it gives her lifelink, it lets you just play this deck into the ground if you just want to play a deck over and over and over again. I've got Electro Dominance here at the bottom. It serves as both removal and a way of just killing the opponent by burning myself with Razia. I've got High Alert, just another way of giving Razia first strike and making the Angel tokens have Vigilance and first strike, just in case I need them instead of Razia for the kill. Per the usual, I've got my, Gem Conversion. I've got Apex of Power for card draw. Remember, red and white tend to suffer from card draw, and Apex of Power was, in my opinion, amazing before they buffed it, and now it's just incredible. It's just an automatic play for me. And finally, Chord of Calling. This just fetches Razia. So let's go ahead, throw it in. We're up against Sorin. Sorin is actually what I think is one of the worst Planeswalkers in the game because of his horrible health pool and because white and black tend to both struggle with mana. So I could potentially play a Razia really early in this game. That's great. That's fantastic. Sorin, apart from kill spells, isn't going to be able to do very much to get rid of Razia. So I'm playing the Gem Converter there instead of going straight for Razia, and I'm playing the Gem Converter instead of going straight for Razia because, well, there it just made up for itself, but it's going to make up for itself really quickly. I'm looking at what I have. I'm moving Chord of Calling up over Luminarch Ascension, and that's just because I want to pair Razia with Lyra. So the Chord of Calling is going to enable me to get to Lyra more quickly, and I definitely want that. And I'm making the blue gem here to get rid of a blue and a black. I know that there's a black on the left side, but I just want to get rid of some of Sorin's matches. So at this point, I've got an extra Chord of Calling. I'm not going to actually go ahead and prioritize that one. And I'm not prioritizing the new chord because I've already got Lyra down, I've already got Razia down, and so at this point I largely just want to save it in case Sorin kills one of my angels. And if Sorin kills one of my angels, then I want to be able to save myself a little bit. Now here I'm going to charge up Electro Dominance. I'm going to be charging up Electro Dominance because as I look at my loyalty, I'm over halfway to Harbinger, and so it's not going to take very much for me to get to the point where I'll be able to use that and then burn myself and then just immediately kill Sorin. Now, because Sorin's health pool is so low, it's not, like, killing Sorin's not something that I actively need to worry about, unfortunately. I say unfortunately just because it can be fun to have, like, a higher tension match. This is going to get me enough for Harbinger so that unless Sorin kills Razia here, I get to hit Sorin for, 91 next turn with Razia. So, let's see, what's that last card? Nope, yeah, he's dead. Very dead. Now, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pop Harbinger on Razia. Razia is going to boost to 46. It's normally 45. It's got 46 because of Lyra. I'm going to move Electro Dominance down. I don't need to charge it anymore. It's just going to go ahead and burn me. And the burn on me is actually going to go ahead and immediately kill Sorin. So I'm going to confirm. I'm going to have it burn myself. And Razia is killing Sorin. So I didn't need to burn myself there. It was more just to show off the effect of Razia. Razia is incredibly strong. And as long as Razia is in standard, Nahiri is going to be an amazing Planeswalker choice. I've tried many versions of this deck, and every version that I've tried has been just amazing. If you've got some of the new M20 cards, I'll show them off really fast. So if you go and you check out some of the new M20 cards in the card pool, let's go ahead, pull up some of those creatures. You can also pair Sephara really well with Nahiri. And so you can actually put Sephara in conjunction with Kaalia. I may wind up making a deck building showcase with the two of them because Kaalia fetches Sephara, which makes Kaalia have prevent damage, and then you can just do other horrible shenanigans. So that's going to be something that we'll be able to do when the standard swap happens. There's a lot that you can really do with this. Drakuseth can be pretty strong. I like him. I don't really use him much because he's not as strong as Razia is. But there's definitely some really good options. So if you haven't played Nahiri in a while, go ahead, give her another look. She's amazing. Once again, here are her stats, abilities. Great Planeswalker. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.